Ladies and Habibis, we are going to introduction to you rising star of South Asia. He is very well educated. He knows Islam and Christianity very well. He done what they said he can't. He is Doctor.
Alhamdulillah.
Wait a minute, what are you doing, Zakir? You come out, it's not you. Habibi, take him out. Sorry, there was some problem. He's Adam Sikher.
Hello everyone, this is your favorite Murtid. Salamul Masih, peace of Christ be with each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having fun.
هل تزعمون أن الله خالق عظيم يقولون لنا أنه يجب علينا أن نعتنق دين الإسلام لندخل الجنة يقولون هاتوا برهانكم ولكنهم لم يستطيعوا أن يأتوا ببرهانهم وإيمانهم باطل وهم في شك.
Do you claim that Allah is a great creator? They tell us that we must embrace Islam to enter heaven. They say, bring your proof, but they could not bring their own proof. And their belief is invalid, and they are definitely in doubt. Alhamdulillah! Who is the devil indeed? Tamam dosto ko, oh sorry, I'm sorry. I was speaking Urdu for so long that I forgot that I am in my English live stream. I'm so sorry. This is the verse of the Quran of Hazrat Adam Sikher alayhi salatu wassalam. And I have my guest Usama Dakdok with us, and we're going to continue our stream about infiltration of Islam in America and all the American Muslims and the Canadian Muslims and the European Muslims. I challenge you, can you bring your proof of Allah, as Allah said in the Quran itself? So this is my verse. Isn't it better than Quran itself? I hope you like it. But once again, thank you so very much for being here, and let us bring our guest Usama Dakdok. But before I bring him, guys, come on. You got to share the stream. Do I have to remind you every time? Share the stream, like the stream, and obviously, you know my Twitter account, right? I share it in my Twitter as well. So please retweet. If you don't retweet, how will the people know where to come and where to join? And anybody who challenge us that whatever we are showing is incorrect or wrong, they're more than welcome to tell us. We'll send them the link of the StreamYard to join in and prove us wrong. And without any delay, let me bring our host, Hazrat Usama Dakdok, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
I love you, man. I love you, brother. Hello and greetings to you, Adam. Greeting to all you wonderful audience, those who are watching us right now live, and those who will watch us a little bit later. I hope those who watch us a little bit later join us next time so we can have them all live, so we can double it and quadruple it. By the way, that verse of the Quran you shared, Adam, remind me of 2003. Just 2 years after September 11, and I met with that gentleman who became, he's an American, white guy. He's an engineer, 33 years old, 32 years old, something like that. And he converted Islam just after September 11, 2 years after September 11. So I met with him. I'm sorry?
I said, mashallah.
Yeah, mashallah, of course, mashallah. So anyway, and so he is married actually to a young lady. She is from the country of Tunisia, and she obviously speaks Arabic. He does not speak any Arabic, but anyway, so I asked a question because I was surprised. He came to that meeting, and we're talking about maybe like 12, 14 people in the house of a friend of mine in Orlando, Florida. And when he came, we were hoping that we can share the gospel with his beloved wife. But we were surprised that he actually came to share Islam with us. and it's a wonderful setting because 7 or 8 of us who were in the meeting are actually ex-Muslims, and myself, Brother Riyadh, Abu Rabia, and maybe Pastor Peter, if I remember. These are real Christian people. The rest were Muslim convert to Christianity. So anyway, so I just asked a question: what causes you to believe in Islam? What is draw you to accept Islam? He said, very excellent question. I would like to answer your question. I said, go ahead. He said, after September 11, I hated Islam. I hated the Muslims. I hated Allah. I hated Muhammad. I hated the Quran. I said, whoa, man, take it easy, buddy. We don't hate Muslim people. We just hate Islam. Why you want to hate people? They're sinners. It's not because somebody's sick, you're going to hate him and kill him. No, you should love him and give them medicine. But anyway, so he hated everybody. So he said, so I decided to study the Quran so I can refute every lie and destroy Islam. I said, whoa. And he said, I read the Quran. I read it once. I read it twice. I read it 3 times. And I found it to be the most holy, loving, peaceful book. He said, Islam is so wonderful and Muslims are so evil. So I said, so you know the Quran, you understand the Arabic language. He said, no, but when you hear it in the Arabic language, it draws you, it touches your heart, it melts you. Do you know that in England, that was 2 years after September 11th, in England, they're using in the Quran recitation in hospitals, mental hospitals, to calm people down and relax people as a type of medication.
He read the Quran 3 times in Arabic and he can't understand a single bit what he read.
Anyway, so here I go. So I told him, so you really like the Quran? He said, yes, it's beautiful. So I said to him in the Arabic language, إني أكرهك بشدة وأرغبك قتلا وأرغب ذبحك لشرب دماؤك. And he said, can you see how beautiful that is?
And his wife knew Arabic, right?
Of course, I said in Arabic. So his wife sitting there, she almost pee-pee on herself. It was very bad. I said, my friend, I just said in the English language, I hate you so much. I want you dead. I would like to slaughter your throat and drink your blood. And you think that's beautiful? God help us. God help us.
And I'm waiting what he said afterwards because this is very important. I'm loving it.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad that somebody, an engineer, 30 years old, not a teenager, 12, 14 years old, heard the Quran in the Arabic language and he loved it. By the way, we waited for him. I challenged him to show me one verse in the Quran, teach love or peace. He said in the Quran, back and forth, back and forth. By the way, the first thing he said, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot touch the Quran. I said, why is that? He said, I have to do wudu. I have to wash. So, oh my God, the guy really converted Islam, no joke. So I said to Brother Riyadh, would you mind, my friend, to use your bathroom? Please give him a clean white towel. And he did. So he did the wudu and dry and came. He was sitting with us on the chair like that, on the living room area. He sit on the floor, cross his feet, hold the Quran, and he start reading like a Muslim do. And he kept back and forth. Yusuf Ali translation. It was not actually my translation. It was Yusuf Ali translation. At the time, I did not have this translation. So back and forth, and 20 minutes, half hour. I said, my friend, you're wasting your time. Here is the evidence. I said to 2 couples from Iraq. I said, sister and brother, whatever their name was. I said, have you ever read the Quran before? They laughed. Usama, we were Muslims. He said, I know the Quran front and back. I said, have you ever found in the Quran a loving peace, a verse, teach, something good, loving peace? He said, no. Sister Fatma, by the way, she's from Morocco. And I said, Sister Fatma, you used to be a Muslim. She said, yes, after 30 some years. I said, have you ever found anything loving or peaceful in the Quran? She said, no. And some of the guys were those who memorized the Quran. And I said, and you became a Muslim a few weeks ago, and you tell me that book is a loving and a peaceful book? That's okay. God help him.
That is why something that I always play and I always show. Bible authenticates these things. My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge.
Sure.
Why do people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge? Just because of this reason. Because they don't have the knowledge, and they're the people of God as well. All of them, no matter who you are people of God. Because God said, "You are my children." Whether you accept it or not, some people don't accept it. So be it. But you are the people of God, and His people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You don't have the knowledge, yet you accept something. That is stupidity, brother. So last time we stopped our presentation on Sharia, and we did Sharia finance. What is the topic today, brother?
Sharia or culture and the rest of the story about the infiltration of Islam to America. So let's
All
move
right.
on. If you don't mind, Brother Adam, you can go ahead.
Yes,
Bring
sir.
in
There you go. I'll bring it up. Sharia or culture and infiltration in the United States.
Yes, you know what's amazing here in America? Everything wrong come out of Islam. The Muslims and the media in the West will twist it and say this have nothing to do with Islam. This is culture. So after September 11, the Fox News amazingly did two programs, a whole hour show, two of them. One couple years later, series, another one where they were talking about honor killing. And man, they give you case after case after case. They actually show you some Muslims were killed in America. A father killed the two daughters in Houston. Another father and a mama, husband and wife, who put the knife in their daughter, and they actually killed die in peace daughter. I mean, it was very, very truthful. I mean, it is Islam on Fox News. But they waited until the last 5 minutes of each show, 10 minutes, the last segment, and they brought to the TV station Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf. And Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf said, I agree with you. This is very bad. This is very savage, but this have nothing to do with Islam. This is just the culture. That is culture. This have nothing to do with Islam, Adam. So we ask the question. When we see something like that, do we call that hijab culture or we call it Islam?
Islam. Quran chapter number 3, verse number 33 and verse number 59.
Okay, I'm going to share one verse here, and
O
obviously,
you prophet, say to your wives and to your daughters and the women of the believers, let down their covering over them, that in this way they will be known, so they will not be harmed. And Allah was forgiving, merciful.
that is the verse of Allah. If it is in the Quran, Adam, it is Islam. It's not culture. If
Absolutely.
it is Allah's word, it is Islam. If it is Muhammad's word, it is Islam. Why? Because Allah said in the Quran, obey Allah and obey the messenger, obey Muhammad. So if Muhammad said it, it is Islam. If Muhammad did it, practice it, Sunnah, it is Islam. Like it or not. So what did Allah say here? Let down the covering. If we go right now, and I'm not going to do that because that would take us a good 10-15 minutes. I don't want to waste 10-15 minutes, but we cover that in depth when we do our seminar, Women in Islam. If we go to Al-Tabari interpretation, we learn that this, Adam, is the only perfect way to practice hijab. I know that in America they will tell you, women does not have to cover their face, and they don't have to cover their hand. And when you see this woman even actually doing the contest of the hijab modeling, and they put the mascara and the color over their lips, over their eyelid, whatever you call this thing here, and they put red lips and the cheek, and they so beautiful and so attractive, and they get a winner. They actually do contests to see who has the most attractive, beautiful hijab in America. And they are trying to tell me because of that means in Islam, a woman does not cover her face, does not cover her hand. When in reality, the man who invented that verse in the Quran, the man who inserted that verse in the Quran, his name is Omar. And you know that, Adam. Omar literally covered his face with a cloth and come here. And then he showed a small hole in front of his left eye. That's what he did. That is the true hijab. one hole in front of, I know Muslims kind of disagree. Some say in the front of the right eye, some say in front of the left eye, just a hole in front of one of your eyes. Okay, which eye you like? I don't, you can even do two eyes. But that is the real hijab. Obviously, you don't think there's any holes here, but she has this soft fabric and she can look through both of her eyes, but no one can see her eyes. And we know what is the story behind the hijab, Adam. That
Yes.
Sahla, the tall lady, she went like all women do at night to go poopy outside the city of Medina. Now, the little boy saw her and stupidly, Sahla, we know you, Sahla, Sahla, it is you, Sahla, Sahla. And they start, kids do weird stuff like that. So they embarrassed her. Omar realized that, oh, we cannot do that. We cannot do that. We have to respect the mothers of the believers from little children. Add to that, the men in the city of Medina, these are the good Muslim believers. You follow me, Adam? Muslim men. They used to harass the women by molesting them when they go at night, because the city have small streets and they go by, they touch them and they, touch him, like, okay, right? That's what Arab Muslim believers do. So obviously they now need to separate from a Muslim believer and a slave. Slave is a fair game. A slave walk in the city, anybody can touch her, anybody can rape her, anybody have sex with her. She's a fair, Allah said have sex with them. Okay, if Allah said it's okay, that's fine. You cannot have sex with any Muslim believer. So to separate between a Muslim believer and a slave, they have to wear that hijab. They have to wear that burqa. By the way, when some of the slaves covers himself like that, so they will be stopped from being harassed by men.
Umar beated them.
Omar beats him. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I mean, if you think that's the purity of Islam, if you think that's the holiness of Islam, if you think that is how women to be protected and not to be molested by men, why can't Omar leave the slaves to be covered so they can be protected? No. He wants the slave to be fair game for men to have sex with, because you cannot stop men from harassing the slaves. So is it culture?
So, brother, let me add something over here. If you
Sure,
look
absolutely.
at the female Quran is the modernized interpretation of the verses by
Yeah.
Maulana Abu al-Madudi, who was a person from India in 1903, and at that particular time, India and Pakistan. So was not separated, it was one country. Basically, in 1947, it was divided. He writes in his tafsir, and it says, Jalab is a large sheet, and Adana is to draw close and wrap up. But this word is used with the associated particular Allah, it gives the meaning of letting something down from above, just like in the
Yeah.
picture. Some modern translators, under the influence of the West, I'm not writing it, he wrote it because he could see the Western scholars. He said some modern translators, under the influence of the West, have translated the word to wrap up so as to avoid somehow the command about covering the face. But if Allah had meant what these gentlemen wanted to construct, he, i.e. Allah, would have said yudnaina ilayhinna and not yudnaina alayhinna. Anyone who knows Arabic knows that yudnaina alayhinna cannot merely mean wrap up. Moreover, the words min jalabihinna also do not permit of the meaning of wrapping up. So what I'm saying, why I put this tafsir up, because you were talking about tafsir al-Tibri, and I wanted to show that even the modern scholars who comes from the country where there are majority Muslims and etc., they claim that the Western scholars who are translating it to not cover up the face are falsified according to the Quranic Arabic itself, not
Sure.
because of any other hadith.
Adam,
From the Arabic of the Quran itself. Yes.
Yeah. The reading of the Arabic verse in the Quran, it is a woman dressed two jalabiyah. One jalabiyah from shoulder down, that is one dress. Another jalabiyah from head down. And a hole in front of the left eye, or right eye, or both eyes. But not the hijab we see in the West come with makeup. The whole idea that they will be known as Muslim free believers, not to be molested by the good Muslim men.
Absolutely. Please continue, sir.
In June of 2011, national retailer Abercrombie & Fitch was sued by a former employee who says that she was fired for wearing a Muslim hijab.
Notice who was involved in these cases. The Council on America, the Council, and there's a picture, the Council on America Islamic Relationships. That is CARE.
In February of 2000.
That is CARE.
So CARE
CARE is a Muslim Brotherhood. CARE is a Hamas. So, and by the way, when that lady, here you see a picture, when that lady went to get the job, she dressed, I mean, Hannah Kahan, she was dressed like anybody else. I mean, she did not have the hijab. She got the job, she put the hijab on to force the new culture. No, Islam, my friend, Islam. And that's, by the way, the early stages, because I promise you, the day is coming and all over America, you're going to see the hijab, which we have seen the picture before, full hijab. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share with you some of the stuff coming up here. So she sues the company and they pay her almost $3 million. If it is culture, why can't she leave it to where she come from? Is it a culture in America for a woman to wear hijab?
Nope.
So it is the Quran, it is Islam, it have nothing to do with culture, and the proof is they're suing us in America. And they are winning, making millions of dollars because of culture. Yeah, culture, my foot. All right, let's see one thing else happening here.
In February of 2011, the state of Alabama repeals its decision to not allow hijabs in driver's license photos.
Who's involved in that case? Once again, is the Council on America Islamic Relations. CARE. So the driver license, they require a photo ID. Do you know what photo ID means, Adam? Photo ID. Photo ID. A
The
picture
photo
ID.
where you can identify the person. That's photo ID.
So if you are driving in America, here's the deal. You have to have a driver license. You know that. And the driver license have a small, tiny picture. Let me show you mine. Where is mine? I don't have my wallet here. The driver license picture is as big as that page like that. Okay, small. That's square. That's how big it is. The picture is a small portion of, like, literally, you know, everybody have a driver license in America.
Everyone in every part of the country knows what a driver license is and how small the picture is.
So how much information you can put in the small, tiny inch by inch, so I can see and know who are you, the one who's driving the car. How do you like that picture on the right? That's in Florida.
Brother, mashallah, I love it.
Okay. How do you like the picture on the left? I mean,
You're
it
taking my
says the
test?
sex. Look. It says it is the sex is a female, and the color of the eye normally. You should place a guy laugh here, man. Normally, under the eye, you see the color of the eye. Mine is black. Okay, or you call brown. Some other people have green eye. Some have blue eye. Some have whatever. The eyes is hidden. Is hidden a new color in America, brother Adam? What is hidden?
No, brother, mashallah, you can definitely identify both of the person from these pictures. You can absolutely identify them. No, you can. Brother, yes, you can. Brother, look.
Yeah.
This is a Muslim lady. That is a Muslim lady. Or maybe the one on the left could be a Muslim man.
Ooh, I'm gonna prove to you. I'm gonna show you something Muslim men do, which Muslim women will not do, like killing somebody with that hijab, with that clothes. All right, let's move on to. Actually, it's not here. Sadly, it's actually in the other presentation. It's a big case. It's a big case in Dubai. Anyway, so obviously somehow we missed it here from the slide. It's a case in Dubai where a American teacher, the mother of twins, actually she was killed in the mall in Dubai, and it was killed by a man who dressed in a full hijab.
And that happened in Pakistan as well. Uh, when in Islamabad, the Pakistani government has to attack a mosque where they so-called Islamic terrorists were hiding, and the main leader tried to run away with hijab on him, and they caught him because he was still wearing his military boots. So from the boots they caught him. But if he was not wearing military boots, but rather a sandal or a sleeper kind of a thing, he would have gone away very easily.
Sure. Anyway, I was speaking in Dearborn. Actually, we have a meeting at the police station there, outside the police station, and they provide us for the room to have the conference. And we have our group in the middle. Lots of protests. I mean, the group who came to attend our conference, our talk, maybe 125, 130. There were 500 people protest us. 75, 80% of them are American. They're not even Muslims. Bunch of them were gay and lesbian. I mean, I'm just trying to put my head around that. You go speak in a place to expose Sharia, and I did that presentation, by the way, there. I did portion of it. I only spoke for half hour. Annie Cyrus was there and a bunch of other guys. They did a great job. But imagine with me, the people who were supposed to hear us didn't show up. 150. I will not even go for 150. I promise you, maybe 140. Okay, but I'll go for 150. But the people who protest us, 400, Adam.
And they were definitely not Muslims, right?
That shows you the verse you just put, Hosea 4:6, is reality. America will be destroyed because Americans have lack of knowledge and they care less about learning. But anyway, after the program was over, then these two ladies were walking with me out of those who protest. I have to go to my car, and do you want to talk with me? Sure. And she said, we are anti-Sharia. We are Muslim, but we don't believe in Sharia. And they said, Sharia law. And I say, why is that? She said, Sharia is a savage culture, have nothing to do with Islam. I said, what do you talk about? She said, everything you hear about Sharia, where you see Taliban beating their women, blah, 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 this have nothing to do with Islam. I said, so you really don't think anything wrong with Sharia? She said, no. She said, do you know, she's telling me, do you know that in Saudi Arabia, they cut the hand of the thief? And I said, and you don't like that? She said, no, that is savage. That is not Islam. I said, ma'am, do you have a Quran?
So woman beating, cutting the hands of the thief, hijab, it's not Islam. Oh my goodness, I don't know, man. These ignorant Muslims.
We have a Quran, and believe it or not, Adam, she have a smartphone much better than this. She have like a fancy smartphone, and yes, it is on my phone, and I read it all the time. I said, can you bless me and bless yourself? Go with me to Quran chapter 5 and verse 38, and we did.
And the male
It
thief
says,
and the female thief. So cut off their hands as reward of what they earned, as a punishment from Allah.
And by the way, this did not come out from my phone. This did not come out of my Quran. I don't even have a Quran. No, actually, I did have the Quran. It came out of her phone. And I said, so what do you say now? Is this a culture or that's Islam?
I'm so keen to listen what her answer was.
Adam, when you, by the way, some Muslim will tell you, well, you need to go to scholars' interpretation. You're not qualified to speak for Islam. We have our own scholar. I said, which scholar do you like? I mean, I can go to all your scholars. They actually make the story worse. They add more water to the muddy, wicked, evil Islam. Because I don't even know what it means. Maybe that guy steal $10,000, you know. In California now, under Camel Harry will allow people to steal up to $995. Okay, don't cross the $1,000, because if you steal $1,000 or more, you will be arrested. But 995, 996, you know, around that, now you can steal as many times as you want. You can go to the store and pick up stuff worth $900 10 times a day. You literally can make $9,000 a day of theft. Okay, that's okay. But in Islam, imagine with me, stealing an egg.
Exactly. Or a rope to tie the camel.
A rope. Something worth 5 cents. And I'm thinking about it, Anna. Thinking about it. If a man will steal an egg, why do you think a guy will steal an egg?
Because he's hungry.
Not because he's going to collect 12 eggs and go sell them for $1.
No, because he's hungry, obviously.
Why we have Muslims in the Muslim world do not take care of their own people who are hungry? I mean, the Jews, the Zionists, and the wicked American infidels can feed the Muslim world, but the Muslim cannot feed their poor neighbors?
Absolutely.
The important is, it is have nothing. Cutting the hand of the thief will not fix society. It will make society is worse. And it is not culture. It is 100% pure Islam. Pure Islam. Now,
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we go, Rana just refuted you, brother.
Sure.
He said it's not $999, it's $950 in California.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I apologize. I will not repeat that mistake again. I'm sorry. Okay. You know what? Just go one more time. Make it 11 times. Now you made more than 10,000. Now you make $10,900. Okay. All right. Honor killing. We know about honor killing. It's happening in America. It's happening in the Muslim world. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you, people like you, Adam, will be caught in the Muslim world and they're dead.
Absolutely. I've been reminded that every time I go live in my Urdu channel in Pakistan. So I've been reminded that multiple times in a week.
So we're not making this up, huh? Usama is not making this up.
No, I was doing a TikTok live just before this one, and this guy said, "You come to Pakistan, you will be under our feet. You Christians, less than 2%. You will be under our feet. You are SHIT. You are nothing more than SHIT. You will live under our feet, under our shoes." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the reality. Keep going, keep going.
Thank you.
Expose yourself.
Thank you. I don't have to tell it to the American people or to the West. You are telling it beautifully. So handsome, so wonderful. Anyway, so and the honor killing exists from the day Muhammad died in one of the three cases, but it has always been in Islam. It does not exist in Christianity. So here is what Muhammad said about when the blood of the Muslim can be shed. All right.
And do not kill the soul which Allah forbids, except with a just cause.
That's the same verse is repeated Quran 17:33, 25:68, as we read here 6:151. Now, what is the forbidden soul? That is the Muslim soul. You cannot kill a Muslim except for a just cause. Do you know what that means, Adam? If you stop here alone, you can kill non-Muslims anytime, for any cause, for any reason. You don't like a Jewish guy next door to you? Just kill him. You don't like an infidel Christian? Just kill him. The only soul which is forbidden for being killed is a Muslim soul.
Yeah, and Zoroastrian soul is the cheapest one. I'll have to pay 1/11th of the Qasas money. So, if you want to go on killing spree, try to do for Zoroastrians, because in Sharia you'll only have to pay 1/11th the money that you have to pay. So yeah, Zoroastrians are the cheapest one, by the way.
Once again, by the way, all these material we go in depth in our presentation, revealing the truth about Sharia, Islamic law. So, but here is what Muhammad told us in the hadith to make sure what is the cause, what is the stupidest thing the Muslim man or woman would do which caused them to lose their life. Here we go. Sahih Muslim, volume 9, hadith number 17.
Muhammad said,
I'm sorry, that is Bukhari, not Muslim. That is Bukhari.
Muhammad said, the blood of a Muslim cannot be shed except in 3 cases: for murder, adultery, and the one who becomes an apostate from Islam.
So you kill a Muslim, you're dead. Now you commit adultery, you're dead. Now you apostate, leave Islam like yourself, Mr. Murtad, you're dead. Now, yeah, absolutely. But here's my question. I saw the reason Muslims are enjoying the privilege of building mosques and Islamic center all over America and worshiping and enjoy the the First Amendment and enjoy the religion and the freedom of religion is because of freedom of religion. Where is the freedom of religion in Islam? Do we have freedom of religion in Islam?
We have so much freedom in Islam, brother. You will be freed from your life if you leave it.
Must be.
You're laughing.
But
You're laughing, brother. I just made you free, man.
yeah, free.
That's
Yeah,
the freedom.
you just die. That'll be the end of it. But if I am a Muslim and I choose to become an atheist, I choose to become a Christian, I choose to become something else, why you want to kill me for it? What is the freedom? I don't think Muslims understand freedom of religion. Freedom of religion, Islam, is for everybody to become a Muslim. That is freedom of religion. We will have everybody to become a Muslim, but a Muslim cannot leave Islam. The day Muhammad died, that is the one about apostasy. The day Muhammad died, we know that Abu Bakr Siddiq, the first successor, the first Khalif after Muhammad, he killed thousands of Muslims. As a matter of fact, it's not just about apostating. Do you know in Islam, and I know you know that, Adam, but for our dear wonderful audience who maybe are watching us for the first time, in Islam, if I do not pray, I must be put to death. You have to pray
Yep.
5 times a day. Now,
When you are a
scholars,
child over 7 years, your father has to beat you
yeah,
if you are not praying.
you have to. It's part of practice of Islam. But scholars, different school of thought about how long will we wait before we kill you. So some would say 3 days. Wow. So I don't pray for 3 days, I'm dead. Some say actually the following prayer. So if you miss the early prayer in the morning, the noon one. If you miss the noon, the Asr, it's 3 o'clock. If you miss the Asr, the Maghrib, which is around 5, 6. And if you miss the Maghrib, Isha, the last one, 5 prayer. You skip one, you have to praise the other one. If you don't praise the other one, we just cut off your head.
Because then
How
you will
about
become an
zakat?
apostate because you are not praying.
Sure. How about
Exactly.
zakat? See, the Muslims came to Muhammad and said, oh, look, Muhammad, we're Muslims, we believe in you, we love you, but we don't want to pray. He said, off with your head. Okay, Muhammad, we Muslim and we pray, but we don't want to give zakat. Off with your head. Imagine with me, Adam, just use imagination. You go to church on Sunday, and they have this box to put the money inside the box, the tithes, and in the same time, they have a guy with a sword next to you. Put the money, man. You don't put the money, they take you to the back door, cut off your head. That church will be empty. I mean, we're going to kill everybody, or everybody will pay. ادفع بالتي هي أحسن. Pay with the best way, because otherwise, off with your head. How do you like to have worship? That you pray so you don't lose your head, that you give zakat so you don't lose your head, and if you leave Islam, you lose your head. Where is the freedom of religion that we're talking about here, Adam?
Brother, you don't understand. You will be literally freed from your life. That's the beauty of it, brother. Seriously, you need to understand that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's
Hey,
obligatory. If you don't follow the obligations, you will be free from your life.
God help us. God help us. All right, free of my life. Free of my life. Now, I know. Some people say halal food is a culture, I mean, we're making a big deal about halal food and it's just a culture. You guys do not understand that halal food is not a culture, it is Islam, and it is one way to dominate a world. They dominate the country. And it's not about just making some Campbell soup. Think about everything in this camel soup. The chicken, if you're eating camel soup made out of chicken, that chicken must be killed by a Muslim butcher according to Sharia, Islamic law, in the name of Allah. They make so now you're creating a great business for Muslims. As a matter of fact, Tyson chicken here in America, they brought hundreds and hundreds of Muslim workers from the country of Somalia to kill their chicken in Tennessee, to kill their cows in Washington State. I mean, you guys do not understand. We're talking about thousands of Muslim workers replacing thousands of infidel workers because the chicken and the cow must be killed by a Muslim butcher. And not only will bring the Muslim butcher, will bring the Muslim family, the Muslim butcher's family. So you're not going to get a guy from Somalia leave his wives and his children's. You're doing a great infiltration, not only to the business environment, but even to the country by bringing thousands and thousands of Muslims. Now, we're talking about just killing the chicken. How about working in Campbell's? That Campbell Soup is a big, big company. This one is in Canada, by the way. It's the same thing happened in America. Now we got halal food all over Canada, all over America, which require lots of Muslims workers. And believe it or not, that is a destruction of America. And by the way, Adam, it used to be only, and people freely go to McDonald's and get your halal food, or you go to Subway, my favorite sandwich, and get your halal food. No, 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 no. Right now in America, if you're serving in our military, if you're serving in a prison because you're a criminal, or in jail because you're a criminal, if you are a student in a public schools, we, the American, must provide you with halal food.
Wow. So that is happening in US now?
In USA, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
So years ago, I spoke in Oregon, and a lady came to me. She was in her 80s. As a matter of fact, I think I still have that video because I recorded her. She said, "Brother Usama," I talked about halal food, and she came up to the church. She said, "Brother Usama," that's why I asked if I can record it. She said yes. She said, "I work at the prison, big prison in Oregon." And she said near Grand Pass. So I asked. She said people come to me in the prison if they have any allergies, concerning some specific food. So she said they have a form they have to fill, and they say they cannot eat onions, they cannot eat garlic, they cannot eat some vegetables. So we will serve these people different food because we don't want them to get sick. I said that's fair. She said one day I have to meet with 3 Muslim inmates. I said, yes. And I know where she's going. She said, they asked me for halal food. No pork, no this, no that. I said, oh. And what did you say to them? She said, I just told them, you're Muslim. They said, yes. You love Islam? Yes. You want to practice the teaching of Islam in America? Yes. She said, what about if we use one of the other teachings of Islam, the cutting of the hand of the thief? And these 3 guys were caught stealing. He said, Usama, I never saw them again. They like the pork, they like the sausage, and whatever we serve in the prison. That's how you end it, Adam. That's how you end it. Turn the table around. So, we got now here is, by the way, here is Halal Campbell in America. The first one is in Canada. This one in USA.
Surely unlawful to you is the dead and the blood and the swine meat and that which has been slain to other than Allah. So whoever is compelled without desiring nor returning, so surely Allah is forgiving, merciful.
So it is not culture, Adam. It is the verse of the Quran. And by the way, it's not just about eating pork. If the meat was not killed in the name of Allah, you can have the best cow, healthy cow, and killed by a Christian guy. It's not good. It had to be killed in the name of Allah by a Muslim man. If the animal died by itself, if an animal hit another animal, and die from this hit, you cannot kill it. If the animal was eaten by some other beast, and just like the beast ate a shoulder or something, you cannot eat it. So it's not just about pork. But here's what the West need to learn about halal food. It is the statement, so whoever is compelled, the way out of serving halal food in America is to tell these Muslims, you are in my prison, you are in my business, you are in here and there, and that is what we're going to be serving you. And you are now compelled. These 3 verses of the Quran always have this except, the exception. What is, if the people are compelled, if that is the only food available, some animal died by itself, some animals was eaten by another animals, creature, lion or something, some animals were killed in the name of other name beside Allah, or some animals which is forbidden, like pork, sausage, and bacon, like stuff like that. If you are compelled, here's the answer: fill your dish one time. You don't return to the kitchen table to get some more. You fill your dish one time, and when you eat it, don't you dare smile. Eat it without enjoying it. That's like,
MashaAllah. As long as you don't enjoy it, it's all good.
I'm sorry?
As long as you don't enjoy it, you're all good, man.
Oh, but here it is. So whoever is can build without desiring. You know what desiring means? Ooh, I'm gonna have pork rib, man. Pork rib. No, don't desire it. Nor returning. You don't go for a second dish, Adam. You don't. Fill your dish one time, eat it. It's over. It's halal. The pork in America can be halal simply by filling your dish one time and eat it without desiring it, without like, woo, I'm gonna have some this or that. No, don't die. Just eat it to satisfy your hunger. Adam, there's nothing in Islam is forbidden. There's always exception.
Oh no, there is forbidden. You cannot marry your daughter with a non-Muslim.
That's not true. If I have sex with a woman and I got her pregnant and she was not my wife, I can marry her daughter.
No, your daughter. You as a father cannot marry your daughter to a
Yes, I
non-Muslim.
can. I'm telling you, in Sharia, in Islamic law, if I had sex with a prostitute, some woman is not my wife, and she got pregnant by me, the baby is my baby inside the mother womb. When that baby is born, I have the right to marry her.
Yes, okay. Yeah, in that sentence, yeah, you're right. But as a Muslim believer, now you are a Muslim believer and you have a daughter, you as a Muslim believer cannot marry your daughter to a non-believer.
Yeah. If it is coming out of marriage, your husband and wife.
So if it is not out of marriage, then you can obviously marry your daughter, marry your daughter's daughter, marry your son's daughter.
If I sleep with a prostitute or some stranger woman and she got pregnant, that baby is mine. DNA said it's mine. It's my child.
No, but like, brother, it's not out of wedlock. So hence the hurmat of Allah does not lie on it, because she is not your daughter because of the hurmat al-Islam.
You need to play that guy who left. That's a perfect time for it.
Okay, let me remind everyone as well what Usama is saying. What Usama is saying is very clear. If you as a Muslim have sex with a prostitute, did not have marriage, you had sex with a girl, one night stand, whatever, and that woman gives birth to a girl, and somehow when the girl reaches the age of 9 and you kind of like her, love her, you can actually marry your own daughter, because she is not your daughter because she was not born out of wedlock. Mashallah. Yeah, you like this one?
That's a nice guy. It's a good laughter, man. It is Islam, the purity of Islam. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Now, let's talk about alcohol. You know, Muslims always brag about themselves that they do not drink alcohol. When in reality, the Quran teaches it's okay to drink alcohol. By the way, lots of Muslims in the West, I mean, even the Muslim world, do not believe in the doctrine of abrogation. I believe the doctrine of abrogation is Islam. That is, Allah gave a command and Allah changed his mind by giving the opposite command, which is a great evidence that Allah is not God. It's very simple. Kings in the Bible don't change their words. Human who are kings, when they give an order, it cannot take it back. It's over, biblically. But Allah, the one who declared to us, none can change the word of Allah, is the one who changing his own words. So the way out of that problem, but beside all the hundreds and hundreds of contradictions all over the Quran, we can actually talk for weeks about the contradiction of the Quran. Okay, just yesterday, Sunday, I was recording a show about Allah said the sin of shirk is unforgiven. You didn't know if you go to hell and you live in hell forever. But then we got another verse where Allah said the jinn who sin with the sin of shirk and the humans who sin the sin of shirk, Allah will put them in hell, and then he is limited with some time, which means they're going to get out of hell. That's contradiction. No, and I love it. Al-Tabari said, oh, no one can argue with Allah about that. It is from his wisdom, because the verse said, this is the wisdom of Allah. It is his wisdom to do whatever he wants. Excuse me. The sin of shirk is unforgiven. The sin of shirk is punishable in hell forever and ever. How in the world Allah say that except he gives him some time to get him out from hell? You can't. You can't. So the contradictions over Quran. So when I play a verse
And from
like
fruits, the palm, and from the grapes, you take alcohol and good provisions. Surely in this is a sign to people who understand.
when I read a verse like that in Quran 1667, and Muslims do not believe in the doctrine of abrogation. Abrogation is to cancel, to erase, to delete, to replace. That verse has been cancelled by Allah Almighty. If you don't believe in abrogation, you're in a deeper problem. Why? Because I can go drink right now, Adam. Can't you?
Nope.
The word of Allah did not say no. Show me where in 1667 you should not drink.
Nowhere. Nowhere. Rather, it's a good provision, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. And I'll show you something as well.
Good provision. So what I'm saying is, when Muslim come to me and said, you're making up this doctrine of abrogation, I said, that's fine. Let's go to a bar and get drunk.
Oh. So, unless you believe in the doctrine of abrogation.
That is the only way out. Because a little bit later, Allah said, it is the work of the devil.
But isn't
Don't
this
you
the
feel-
work of Allah right now in this one?
That is the word of Allah, absolutely.
So,
Quran 16,
it's
67.
the great provision of Allah.
Absolutely.
And then it's the word of his Shaitan as well.
True too.
Then Allah is a Satan.
Amen. You got it.
Let me show you something.
Show me something.
It's
brother.
very important over here. Let's read this. You'll love it. I guarantee you will love it. So let me bring
Amen.
it on the screen.
Bring it up, brother.
Let's read. You read and translate.
فقال, so he said, اشرب. فأخذته, drink. So I took it and I drank from it. Okay. فما كنت أسبقه. He could not أسبقه. He could not get close, go further than him, maybe. I don't know what أسبقه. I wish I have تشكيل. There's no تشكيل here. ثم أخذ فشرب. Then he took and he drank. ثم قال. Then he said, يا عتبة, O عتبة, إننا ننحر كل يوم. We slaughter every day. جزورا ودكها وأطيابها. جزورا ودكها وأطيابها.
And we
فلمن.
eat.
I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, continue.
فلمن. I don't know what's the word here. It's جزورا. إننا ننحر كل يوم. We every day we slaughter جزور. جزور means root. ودكها.
Drink and eat these good things.
All right. فلمن حضر من آفاق المسلمين عنقها. To who of the leaders of the Muslims they got their neck? فلآل عمرو نأكل هذا اللحم الغليظ. To the family of Amr we eat this thick meat. ونشرب هذا النبيذ الشديد, and we drink this strong alcohol. يقطعه في بطوننا and يؤذينا. Cut in our bellies so it will not harm us.
So basically, they were drinking with Umar strong drinks and enjoying meat, camel meat. Okay.
وهذا فعل منتشر لم ينكره عليه أحد فصار كالإجماع. This is an act no one can deny it, so it became accepted by everybody.
So everybody was
وروي-
drinking alcoholic drinks. Okay.
Not just alcohol. That's نبيذ شديد. That's a strong alcohol.
Strong alcohol, like the
Not
whiskey.
beer, but whiskey or something. Okay. وروي أن عمر ibn الخطاب, and it was also said that Umar ibn Khattab رضي الله عنه, Allah be pleased with him, أتى برجل سكران. He brought in a drunk man. فجلده. So he literally beat him with a piece of whip. Okay.
Hunter.
So he whipped him. فقال, so he said, إنما شربت min adawatika. I only drink from your tools.
He said, hey, Umar, I drank from your utensils, from your alcohol, from your cup, from your bottle. I drank from your bottle.
فقال إنما, so he said إنما أضربك على السكر منها. Oh, he said I beat you or I scourge you because you got drunk by it, not because you drink it. So which means actually
Not because you were
said,
drinking.
Yeah.
Not because you were drinking. I am
ولا
beating you.
أضربك على الشرب. Yeah. So it's okay in Islam to drink, but you don't get drunk.
You do not get drunk. So
فدل
drink, but
على
do not get
تحريم
drunk.
السكر دون الشرب. And that is evidence that to be drunk is forbidden, but you can drink.
You can drink, but you cannot get drunk. So how much can you drink, brother? 1 cup? What do you think, brother?
Well,
2
I
cup?
know some people can drink a whole case of beer and they're not drunk.
But like strong drinks, how many of the strong drinks can you actually consume according to Islam?
I never drink strong drinks, so I have no idea. If I drink maybe
According to
couple
Islam,
spoons.
let's read it. Let's read it.
Oh,
Farawi,
أشرب أحدكم 9 أقداح.
Farawi and Abdullah bin Abbas
Yes.
annahu qala in ashrabu ahadakum istasa. Yes, please.
He Ibn Abbas, that's the first cousin of Muhammad, said, if one of you drink 9 cups and he is not drunk, so it is halal.
Fahuwa halal. But wa in next.
وإن
wa
شرب
in-
العاشر فسكر فهو حرام. And if he drinks that cup number 10 and he became drunk, now it is forbidden.
Exactly. So in Islam, brother, there is a very good thing, and it is stated as drink, but do not get drunk. Drink, but do not get drunk. And let me show it to you. Let me show it
but
to you.
how many? My question to you, Adam. How many Muslims know these facts?
I've shown to everyone. Drink, but do not get drunk. This is saying Sunan Nasai. It says ashrabu fi zarufi wala taskaru. Yes, brother. What would you say?
Ashrabu fil zaruf was a drink in situation, but do not get drunk.
Drink in moderation, but do not get drunk.
Yeah. قال أبو عبد الرحمن.
No, forget the rest. Forget the rest. Forget the rest. That's not the problem. Drink in moderation, but do not get drunk. And by the way, this hadith, some people says that this is not sahih, but whatever. The latest scholar actually agrees that this is sahih. There you go. It is written in Sahih an-Nisai, Sahih an-Nisai, and it says ashrabu fi zarufin wala taskaru. Drink in moderation.
I'm getting sick and tired. I'm getting sick and tired when we quote saying written in these Muslim books for hundreds of years, and they're telling me that this is weak, this is sick, this is that. If it is in Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim or Sahih an-Nisa, it's done. Why you have it written in your books? People, you have power to behead Muslims who leave Islam. You have no power to clean your books. It is so stupid for Muslims to tell me that is a weak hadith.
Let me show you something.
Yeah, show me, man. I'm waiting.
قال عليه الصلاة والسلام اشربا ولا تسكرا.
तो नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने कहा पियो पियो बट टुन ना होना, पियो पियो बट टुन ना होना, पियो पियो बट टुन ना होना, पियो पियो but don't get drunk. This is their Egyptian scholars. They are saying that I'm not.
That's a famous guy in my home country, Egypt. Yes,
yeah,
and
he's an Egyptian. And
قال عليه الصلاة والسلام اشربا ولا تسكرا.
It's clear. Muhammad said, "Drink, but don't get drunk."
Exactly.
Which, by the way, biblically, from the Bible, Christians are not to get drunk. Period. And biblically, I know that everything is lawful to me, but not everything is acceptable. This is biblical teaching. We do not have laws in Egypt. If Adam drink a glass of wine, we'll kill him. No. But if Adam get drunk with a glass of wine, So even the top of the best of the Quran, which they're trying to use right now, as this guy saying, it's even taken from the Bible. But if you read the Bible very carefully, to whom the redness of the eye, to whom the headache, for those who drink the heavy drunk, it is not for kings, the Bible said. It is not for kings to get to drink. Kings should not drink. We are kings. We are priests. Christians represent Christ. We should never be drunk. Never.
But Kamala Harris yesterday came out really, really drunk while talking on the internet. So she
I
was,
know. Actually, I was listening to some of the videos online, some of the material online. They said she is the best expert on all type of alcohol. She even expert on the piece of felt you put the top of to close the bottle of wines.
I have
The
no
cover.
bloody idea about that.
The piece of foam,
Cork, cork.
she is
Cork.
expert in it. She will tell you which one is made of what.
By looking at the cork.
Yes, she can tell you what kind of. But by the way, her staff are trying to stop her from talking to the media the last few weeks because she drunk all the time.
She's drunk all the time. I just saw it. So I watch a channel. A lot of people know about it now. I've shown it many times. So Jay Bravo, and he showed a few videos of Kamala Harris being drunk and talking, unbelievable. She in Islam, she should be bye bye.
Be gone. But Adam, why she laughed that laughter? I could not figure out until now. Now I know why she laughed. Because some people, when they drink, they laugh. I thought she was doing drugs, but I found that actually her laughter is a result of her being drunk.
Maybe that is correct because she's always too drunk to do it.
Yeah, terrible. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on. So now we have Halal Burger King in America. Believe it or not, he is good Muslim eating Halal Burger King. We have Halal Kentucky Fried Chicken in America.
Mashallah, really?
That is how we look at the sign in the back there. East 94. That is in the east. It's okay, 94.
I'm coming to America to get halal KFC. I don't have to go to Pakistan to eat halal KFC.
Yeah, mashallah. We'd love to have you in America and we'll feed you halal KFC. How about halal McDonald's?
I don't like McDonald's.
But they have halal food. What are we doing here, Adam? What I'm trying to say is, here we go. Halal Subway. Actually, it's in my browser presentation.
Halal Subway, halal McDonald's, halal KFC. So
this is called
halal.
Yeah, Adam, the point I'm trying to share is this. The point I'm trying to share here is this. They are infiltrating our life by halal food. Halal this, halal that. I mean,
it's not just infiltration the life, brother. It is also the economy. So they are destroying the local meat butchers. They are destroying meat butcher locally, and they are introducing their own people to give them business and all. So this part of your presentation goes back and hand in hand with the last part where you talked about Sharia finance. Like they are increasing their finances and enhancing their businesses by making them eat halal and giving them the halal opportunities. Even McDonald's, if he has to buy the halal food to give it to McDonald's and KFC, you just created a whole full-fledged chain where the halal butcher is always getting business because now he's associated with franchises.
And the problem is, it's not going to stop here, Adam. It will continue to evolve to the next step. In New Zealand, for example, and I have some good friends I know for years and years in New Zealand, the Muslims are controlling the buying and the selling of all goods, not just halal. Even if you're going to buy a furniture, if you're going to buy a refrigerator, if you're going to buy material, you as a business must run with halal business, with Sharia business, which means you give 5%, not 2.5%, but 5% in New Zealand for your profit to the Muslims. And the New Zealand people, the stupid people of New Zealand, the liberals of New Zealand, see there's nothing wrong with that because that will help the Muslim to grow in a better position economically in their country. So they're buying and selling everything. 5% of the profit goes to the Muslims to help the Muslim population in New Zealand to have a better economic status in the land. Now,
End of discussion. Yeah.
this is it. Now, some people say, Usama, you live in America, who care? Let people eat whatever they want. You don't want to have halal food, don't buy halal food. You don't want to like McDonald's, don't go to McDonald's, go to some other store. It will grow to be in every business. And I am making a big deal about that because look what America will look like literally 50 years from now if we allow the Muslim to do the halal food, because then they're going to be killing you for not eating halal food. And somebody think I'm exaggerating. No, no, no. We're going to look at that verse, which we have seen so many times. We talked about this so many times. But I'm hoping today, right now, as we look at Quran 9:29, you can see that angle, that side of the story, which you have not seen yet. We're talking about halal food and killing Americans for not eating halal food. Here we go. Watch the verse, the word of Allah.
Engage in war with those who do not believe in Allah and in the last day, and do not forbid what Allah and His Messenger forbid.
We know the rest of the
Your
verse.
translation is wrong, brother. Your translation is wrong.
That's
It says engage in love.
You're cutting, Adam. Go ahead, brother.
It's your translation is wrong. It's engage in love with those who do not believe in Allah.
Like LOVE?
Yeah, love.
Well, I saw wars there in the Arabic language. I will look it up. I will check. I will test it, and if it's wrong, I will do anything. I'll fix it just for you, Adam, because you're my
Thank
special
you.
friend.
Thank you. When Allah says yuharribun or harb or katilu or kutila, it means love.
Love. The LOVE.
LOVE.
Okay. When you make,
All
it like
of these four words cannot be translated into war or battle or killing. All of these words means love.
Like was the heart, red heart?
With the heart, yeah.
Okay, I will take it out and I put red heart just for you. So, but anyway, who are we talking about here? We're talking about the people of the book. Who? The Jews and the Christians. Who? Stupid infidels of the West. Why Allah said to engage in war with those? Listen to this. And do not forbid what Allah and His Messenger forbid. The day is coming when the Muslims rise up to a higher power in America. They will be killing the Jews and the Christians who will not eat and drink and do everything according to Sharia, the halal and the forbidden laws of the Quran and of the saying of Muhammad. Do you see how dangerous that is, Adam? Should we wait? Should we wait until Muslims have 12, 15% in America and start doing that?
Yes.
God help us. God help us.
Recently, in the state of California, some teachers were teaching the 5 pillars of Islam in their classroom and even giving students extra credit if they would be willing to dress up in traditional Muslim clothing. Imagine the public outcry if teachers tried to teach Christianity or give students extra credit for doing Christian things.
Like maybe wearing shirt like the one I have. Not shirt.
Okay, now that's a very important thing, and very, very important thing. Very, very important. You do realize what you are doing right now. You are actually making children's to grow up in accepting this cultish behavior and cultish ideology to be part of your culture since childhood, and making them accept this to be not hateful. Yet their own homes, they teach them to be hateful. And I cannot tell you enough why, because wherever I live, I have seen that happening first-handedly with children around me, first-handedly. And I literally have to speak with their children and have to have a session with my community around me, including a couple of Christian homes where their children join in so that I could teach them that how disturbing these kind of things are when they are saying these kind of things, and they cannot repeat and say the same thing, which includes Salam alaikum, Wa alaikum assalam, Mashallah, Alhamdulillah, and Palestine, and the false news that their teachers were sent talking about Palestine, and we had to go and speak with the teachers of that school, and we had to stop this political nonsense there, where we were met with so much resistance, and we had a lot of argument over there. And brother, this is so important for every single household to know, that when their children are going into the school and they try to dress up or say something, their parents has to be very, very vigilant at that particular time.
Sure. And you know what, Adam? I have no problem for Muslim to teach the real 5 pillars of Islam. As a matter of fact, there are 7. But if they want to talk about the pillar of Islam, if they want to talk about Islam, just read the Quran for the American students. Just teach them real Islam. Just teach them real. If you teach them real Islam, I have no problem. But the problem is, each and every one of these pillars, they're teaching us propaganda. For example, let us talk about the first pillar, the pillar of Shahada. Now, nobody know jack about the word Shahada in Islam, in the school in America. But the pillar of Shahada is Muslims believe that there is no God but Allah.
Stupid idiot translation. It's
Muhammad
Shahada is
is-
witnessing, brother.
Now,
Witnessing. You know that, and I know that it's witnessing. How can you
Sure.
witness?
So if they want it, but if they teach it true, not only the American people will never become Muslim, the American people will mock Islam. Why? Excuse me. What are you saying? Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. I bear witness that there is no God except Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is a messenger of Allah. That is impossible to do. Impossible. Against the logic, against common sense. There is no way. Why? For you to believe, for you to bear witness that there is no God except Allah, you yourself have to become Allah. You have to become God. Why? Because if I say there is no God except Allah, that means I have to be everywhere in the same time, and I see it by my own eye, and I smell it by my own nose, and I hear it by my own ears, and I touch it by my own hand, and I taste it by my own tongue, and I know that there is not another God on the moon or on Mars or behind the sun or somewhere else in the world. I have to become God, exist everywhere all the time at the same time, so I know for sure, and I can say I bear witness there is no God except Allah. Similar with Muhammad. How can Muslims say we bear witness that Muhammad is a messenger of Allah? Have you ever seen Muhammad? No. Have you ever smelled him, touched him, felt it? No. What do you know about Muhammad? Nothing. But you bear witness? That is a false witness. You say that in a court of law, they will take you to a mental hospital. You have to be a witness. You know what's amazing? We have in Egypt a actor. His name is Adil Imam. Very funny, very famous. He actually did so many movies which he's destroyed Islam, but people cannot see it. Even Muslims love to watch him. So Shahid Ma Shaf Shahada. That is the name of a comedy play. It was for years on the theater. A witness who saw nothing. The name of the show or the comedy play, the witness who saw nothing. That is Muslims. These are the Muslims. You're bearing witness of something you have not seen. What a stupid mind. You don't even have logic. And so
Absolutely.
on, and so on with the rest of the pillars of Islam. Oh,
Before
zakat.
we continue to the next
I'm
one.
sorry, brother?
Before we continue to the next one, this is very important. Somebody
Yeah.
said, all lawful good. He said, homeschool your kids. Public schools are fallen. Brother, that's the problem. If 3, 4, 5, 10% will start homeschooling, you know what is going to happen? So the only people who can say something up in rebuttal and in refutation, if you guys will start homeschooling and not try to raise the voice against them,
They
you
will take over.
are going to exactly.
They
You'll
will
be
take
dead.
over the school. Yeah. So what? And
That's
who?
exactly what they
And
want.
Adam,
That's
you know
yes.
who? You know, if this happened, you know who is the one who's able and can remove the children from the public schools? The rich one or the conservative one or the educated one, which means the light which need to be in the school to destroy the darkness of Islam. You're going to remove the one which I'm hoping that you will speak and expose the false of Islam in a public school, which means you're going to turn the light completely off in the school, and roaches and rats will grow all over the schools.
So exactly, exactly. So you can't just homeschool your children just because this is happening. Rather, you have to send your children to school after preparing them and work with them, prepare them on their rebuttals, fix the things, talk to the principal, talk to the teachers. If you start homeschooling, it seems like a good idea. Yes, I understand. But at the end of the day, now you finished your culture. You just cannot take a step back.
Dr.
Very important.
Sharifa, yeah, Dr. Sharifa, I use her video. She actually died. She made a video 35 years ago in 1989. I use her video in my seminar or my presentation is Israel or Palestine. Israel or Palestine. And that woman, she was very smart. She actually set the blueprint for Muslims to take over the American education, for Muslims to take our public schools. And they did it. They did it. We're talking about 15 lies they teach in our public schools, and the more. In my presentation, 15 lies. You can go listen to 63 radio broadcasts, and we have it so many times in different TV shows. Okay, but Dr. Sharif Mukhtar said Muslims must get involved in school. Muslims must run in a school board. Muslims must be in a committee, like reading books, readings, and books choosing. Muslims have to write materials in the public schools, and everything she said, the Muslim did. And now we got lots of lies in our public schools. And sadly, I don't see too many Christians in our public schools to run for an office, to run for a school board, to be in a school book committees or anything. Where are the Christians?
Sleeping, going back. Oh, what can I do? I am all alone. I can't do this alone. Sleeping.
We
Sleeping.
need to get involved, Adam. And once again, American people are destroying themselves because they don't know anything about Islam or even what the Muslims are doing. They're infiltrating our country, and we're sitting here, let them do it, let them have it. It is so ridiculous. I go to church and speak in church, and I walk with a book in my hand or with a phone in my hand. I will not even say a word at it. I just walk to somebody in the church in the middle of my service, and I literally handle the book to somebody or whatever I have in my hand to somebody. And they reach out and they take it and they smile. They even know I did that. I said, that's exactly what you American people are doing to your country. You're giving it to the Muslims. They're not even asking for it. I said, did you ask me to give you this booklet? He said, no. And all what I did, I just reached out to you without even smiling. And you took it from my hand with a big smile. That is exactly what you're doing in America. You're allowing the Muslim to infiltrate your country, and you're giving them your children, and you're giving them your country on everything we have covered so far, Adam. And the Muslims could not believe themselves. You mean I can take over America? Yes, they can. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking over America.
Absolutely.
Okay, Adam, can you put me in silent for a minute, please? I'll be back in a minute.
Sure, brother. All right. While Osama is away, thank you so very much. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe as much as you can. And thank you so very much, Lily, for providing your super sticker. Appreciated. You are always here to support. And in the meantime, let me show you our Camel Al Haris um, getting drunk and speaking on live TV. And this is from the channel J Bravo. Check this out. Look, tell me if she is not drunk. Look, if I'm lying, tell me if she is not drunk.
Does not scare the chipmunks out of you.
I will snatch their patent
Oh, yes, you will. That dang free market.
so that we will take over. And yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. It's the question is, do you have the will to do it? I have the will to do it.
That's great. She was a little bit more coherent. I don't know. I'm new to this English. Look, there's her in the back. Nah, you haven't had anything to drink. They actually told her. I don't know. What do I know? But this is just rumors. But I guess Joey B let her take the mic. She's been drinking. Maybe.
This is an extraordinary day, and I'm very thankful for our president and what he has done.
I can't. Honestly, you guys, I am not the kettle, and I'm not calling the kettle black, because I mean the things that I have done in my life when I have consumed ethanol.
Never let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior.
Yes, you are. Honestly, you guys.
Guys, Johnny Bravo is crazy on this. But yeah, she's drunk and high, and I don't know what else is there. If you want to watch it again and again, it's 10 minutes mark on this video. Please enjoy. I don't know whether she is drunk or stoned. Like, you guys have to decide by yourself. Usama, welcome back, brother. I hope you're done with your call.
Yep. We're good. It was just a very important phone call. Mr. Trump just called me, and I have to talk to Mr. Trump for a minute. I told him I'm with Adam Seeker. I cannot talk to you right now, and he understands.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I hope, but Kamala Harris, if she wins, as a lot of the leftists are supporting her, dude, you're going to have a very stoned, drunk president, and I'm not calling the pot black.
You're gonna see Francisco in the United States of America. I'm not kidding you. Actually, you know what she said today too? Camel Harry. She actually is going to give $25,000 to everybody in America. That is everybody to buy their first home. So all the 10 million or 20 million or 30 million illegal who came to this country, each one of them will take $25,000 to buy a house.
And what about you? Well, you already has a house, so you won't get anything, right?
No, I can't.
So you can't get anything. So only the illegal immigrants.
Maybe I just go drink with her and gamble my house and lose my house, then I can buy a new house.
So Kamala Harris will do that. Okay. Let's hope she doesn't win. But if she wins, then
it is sick.
God bless America and bye-bye America.
All right. It's exactly. And I know this is coming. If the liberals can steal the election 2024, it is over for America. Trust me. There is not another Republican conservative to run. Most likely you'll have more Democrat in the Senate, more Democrat in the House, more Democrat in the governors, and America will be San Francisco or Chicago, or just pick up New York. Pick up one of the place where Democrats doing a great job, and that will be your neighborhood. All right, let's move on, Adam. It's sad. It's sad.
And then if she comes, then Gruesome Newsome, whatever the name is, will be your vice president, seems like it. And then there goes America.
Yeah. You have to destroy America economically, morally, for Muslims to take over. You cannot tell me that the great infiltration for Muslims to take over America when America is strong. It will never happen. When America will be taken by the Muslim, when the great infiltration will take place in this country, if you destroy this country militarily, boy, you can't do better than Biden. Economically, morally. I mean, think about our military. They're running by 3 men who dress like ladies. I saw the people, I could not believe it. Top 3 people, they met together, men dressed like women. Is this a guy you want to protect you? Protect your country? The Muslim will kill them, and the Muslim will take over America. Because in Islam, you cannot tell me Muhammad will allow a man to dress like a woman. Is this possible, Adam, for a man in Islam to dress in the dress of a woman?
According to Sharia, you cannot, but Muhammad was dressing up in women's clothing. And unless Muhammad would dress in Aisha's clothing, he won't get the revelation. he won't get the revelation
I
until
should
he
not
was
ask you, Adam. You know Islam better than I should not ask this dumb question because Muslims say, "Oh no, in Islam, a man dressed like a woman must be killed." I said, "And how in the world Muhammad was dressed in Aisha's clothes?" So that is only to receive the revelation from Allah, not because he liked to dress like a woman. You see, my boyfriend is gay, but I'm not.
Alhamdulillah. Send all the ham to Allah because Allah's
Yeah.
dog is hungry.
Much alhamdulillah. Okay, let's move on to the infiltration of the education in America. Here we go.
Various public school textbooks have been found to be biased in favor of Islam. A report on one of the textbooks said this: when Muslim groups attack Christian peoples, kill them, and take their lands, the process is referred to as building an empire. Christian attempts to restore those lands are labeled as violent acts or massacres, according to the report.
How do you like that in our textbooks?
Wow.
It is okay for Muslim Adam to build their empire, man. It's beautiful. But Crusaders, they're massacres. It's okay for Muslim to kill a Christian man, to take his wife and daughter, to rape them, to raise Muslim babies. But it's not okay for the Christian man to defend the honor of his wife and his daughter and kill the Muslims who are trying to take over his country.
So the Christian crusaders who were defending their land are bad people. And the Muslims who were attacking their land are good people.
Because they're building Islamic empire, Adam. Which part of building an empire you don't understand? Do you guys have any concept of how Muslim build an empire?
No, I do not. I do not know anything.
Okay, let's move on. One more, please.
In the textbook World History, Medieval and Early Modern Times says that people were converted to Islam because they were attracted by Islam's message of equality and hope for salvation, according to the report. Another textbook teaches, how did the caliphs who expanded the Muslim empire treat those they conquered? The answer the book gives, they treated them with tolerance.
Wallahi, if lying had no limits, we just heard that. Like, I had to clap on that, like literally. And I could see you clapping on the back as well, because I just played it. As soon as I heard this, I was like...
So listen to this, Ed. When my Egyptian ancestors became Muslim, they were very attracted by Islamic message and the equality and the hope of salvation. Let's take this in a little bit. So when my great grandma, some of the old women, saw the Muslims beheading her husband and they start raping her, she says, wow, may I see the Shahada? I really love Islam so much. After all, I see now there is equality in Islam and there is a great message of salvation. You don't have to behead me if you can rape me. Let's do it. Let me see the Shahada. What's salvation? Do you know that there is no salvation in Islam?
There's not a single word called salvation in Quran, full stop.
Muhammad is not saved. He did not know if he's going to make it to paradise or not. Abu Bakr Siddiq said, if you have one foot in the paradise, salvation, another foot on earth, he will not trust the deception of Allah, because maybe Allah changed his mind and he get out, send him to hell. Salvation. Tolerance. Can you share with me, Adam, one Muslim country where Muslims practice tolerance one day in the last 1450 years?
And this is how Muslims laugh when they read kind of things.
You know, amazingly, when I share stories with you, Adam, it's not I'm telling a story. I'm trying to teach the American people the reality of what's happening out there. So I was in North Carolina, and this man come to my, actually I went to the restaurant and we talked, and this man is from somewhere, Ghana, I believe, somewhere in South Africa. And he, in Africa, and he was praying, and he prayed for a good an hour. I mean, I'm waiting for him to finish prayer so I can share the gospel with him, because his boss left when I was talking to Muhammad from Lebanon. He was from Lebanon or Syria, something like that. So anyway, so I'm waiting for that black African guy to finish prayer. So he finished praying finally, and I said, wow. And I started speaking to him in Arabic, and he did not know one word of what I said. I said, what's your name? He did not know. I'm speaking in Arabic. How long you been a Muslim? He did not know. And then in the end of it, he said, I don't know any Arabic. Speak to me in English. No Arabic whatsoever. I said, so what language you were using in your prayer? He said, in Arabic. I said, you prayed for an hour in the Arabic language. You could not even answer my simple questions? He said, no. I said, how did he become a Muslim? He said, my father was a Muslim. How is your father became a Muslim? He said, his father is a Muslim. How is his great father? You know what he said? He said, the Muslims came to my country, they kill our men, and they rape our women. They love sex, and we until today love to have sex. So here I am, a Muslim. Imagine, he have no shame to tell me that he's a son of a rape by a Muslim man who killed his grandfather and who raped his grandmother.
Unbelievable.
Where is the tolerance, Adam? Why tolerance only exists in the stupid textbook? That is, I call, infiltration in our education.
At least in India, the Muslims are not accepting that they were born out of rape. At least they have enough guts to try to deny that until I show them. But in Ghana, he already accepted it. That's just crazy.
He had no problem with it. He said, I said, and they rape women? He said, yeah, they love sex. Arab love sex.
Unbelievable. Let's move
Another
forward.
public school textbook shares this. Jihad has always been an important Islamic concept. One hadith, or account of Muhammad, tells about the Prophet's return from a battle. He declared that he and his men had carried out the lesser jihad, the external struggle against oppression. The greater jihad, he said, was the fight against evil within oneself. Examples of the greater jihad include working hard for a goal, giving up a bad habit, getting an education, or obeying your parents when you may not want to.
All right, I can't hear more lies.
So, here's the truth, my dear friends. Here's the truth. That is what they teach our children about jihad. So our children are not learning any truth about jihad. Our children are not learning any truth about Islam, period. What is jihad? There's lesser jihad and there's a bigger jihad. What is a lesser jihad? The small jihad, like fighting those who are fighting us. Struggle against oppression. Like right now in Israel, they are the Palestinians who are not Palestinians. The Gazans, the Muslim Gazans, are fighting against the Jews because they are fighting against oppression. When in reality, not once in the history of Islam, from the days of Muhammad until today, not once, we found out that Muslims have fought jihad against oppression. The Muslims were the one who were fighting the Christians, the Jews, and others who live far, far away from the Muslims, who have done nothing wrong to the Muslims. I challenge a Muslim, tell me what the Christian Egyptian did against the Muslim Saudi, that the Muslim Saudi must fight the Egyptian, killing their men, taking their country by the edge of the sword. What is the oppression there? Give me an example. Where did the Syrians, Jordanian, Irani, Lebanese, Afghani, Pakistani, any Muslim country in Africa who were fighting Muhammad and the other Muslims? That's why the Muslims have to perform jihad against oppression. What oppression? I'm sick and tired of hearing Muslim imams in America teaching about jihad in our mosque in America for the last 7-8 months, and they call it is fighting against oppression. The Jewish people never did any oppression against the Gazans. Nuts. That's nuts. They actually give them free electricity. They give them free water. They give them free internet. And they were upset because they cut these free services after October 7. Excuse me. You bite the hand which feed you, and you tell me that I should continue to feed you? what oppressions the Gazans have received from Israel since they exist in the land of Israel. There are plenty of Muslims who live in West Bank right now who will not exchange their job and their life under the Israelite by any other Muslim country, even if you take them to Saudi Arabia, because they know they're respected by the Jewish people of Israel, and they will not be respected by the Saudi Muslim, the rich one in Saudi Arabia.
So,
Oppression.
brother, these are such lies.
It makes
And
me sick.
in
Adam.
short, let me give you the moral of the story. In short,
Yeah.
every single country where the Islam is right now, it was occupied by Muslims by force, full stop. And they are playing a beautiful victim card. Why? Because they know that they can lie, and lying and deceiving is absolute part of Islam, and that's why they are doing this. Unfortunately, Christians do not lie. And there was a guy who came to my TikTok and he said, I'm trying to do taqiyya and saying these things. And I was like, dude, change your words. I don't want you to lie, absolutely. The problem is that the other ideologies and theologies, most of them out there, when they follow their ideologies and their belief systems, they try not to lie. But the basic essence of Islam is to lie, no matter how deep and how bad it is, as long as they are preaching Islam, as long as they are converting people to Islam. And that's the worst thing in this, because you have to break the lies, because they
Yeah.
keep on lying.
But here we go. Our children are learning to obey mom and dad, to work hard, get good grades, and give up a bad habit. It is a great jihad in Islam.
You have to give this link to your children. Let the children learn from this and understand from this. Put it out there, guys. Everyone.
Please,
Really.
I mean, we talked, Adam, we talked in the first two broadcasts about infiltration. Everything we said is very important. But that session here need to be taught in church, in school, Sunday school class in church. It needs to be taught to your neighbors who do not go to church. It needs to be taught to some relative somewhere else. Your children, your grandchildren, you have grandchildren, you have children, they need to know. These are big, huge red flag of culture infiltration in our education. This is not culture. This is Islam propaganda to destroy America by taking over your children. You give your children one generation, America is gone. And we have been doing that for a long time. 2003, 2004, 2005. That is when I start collecting some of the material which talk about lies in the textbooks. I'm not even talking about this material right now. I'm just giving you general information. You want to learn more about that? You have to join us when we do lies in the textbooks. It will blow your mind.
The report continued. In a passage meant to explain jihad, they encountered this. Muslims should fulfill jihad with the heart, tongue, and hand. Muslims use the heart in their struggle to resist evil. The tongue may convince others to take up worthy causes, such as funding medical research. Hands may perform good works and correct wrongs, the new report said.
Tell me, Adam, you're a good Muslim. You have been a good Muslim. You know about Islam. What did Muhammad say about the hand and the tongue and the eyes or your heart? What did Muhammad really say? Can you help me out? You teach me something, brother. I want to learn something from you.
They are mean to bring people to the faith of Allah and Muhammad. If truth cannot lead people to faith, then lying is not just permissible, but rather it's obligatory. Hands, you have to use hands to bring people to Islam, because if you cannot use hands, then use your tongue. And if you cannot use your tongue, then at least think of them as wrong, as bad, as evil, because this is the lowest of deen. But then again, we have Democrats and who would present this hadith as
Hadith from the Prophet Muhammad instructs, whomever among you sees a wrong, let him change it with his hand. If he is not able, then with his tongue. If he is not able, then with his heart.
That's exactly.
He said,
So the lie, Adam, is not only to our children in our public school, it is the entire country by so-called the President of the United States of America. God help us if that's not what we call the infiltration of Islam to America. This is it. This is it. The Democrat, after hearing the president, by the way, after hearing Obama before, by the way, after hearing George W. Bush before, where he praised Allah and Muhammad and Islam after September 11 for 7 years. A man I voted for twice for 7 years was lying to the American people about Islam. After hearing that, you will have no problem to vote the Muslim Taliban as your governors and your senators and your Congress. I was saying, after hearing all that, it will be a normal thing for all America to vote for all the Muslims of the world to be their leaders here in America.
But brother, in the Arabic it says man ra'yal munkar. How do you translate it? Man ra'yal munkar. Munkar is the one who rejects, not evil. How would you translate it? I want people to know, because I showed them what it says. This is the hadith of the battle with sword, jihad with sword.
So the whole thing, the whole thing here. أخبرنا محمد بن شارق قال حدثنا عبد الرحمن مصطفى.
Forget the chain.
من رأى منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان. So how you translate the word munkar now is playing the game here, Adam.
That's how they're playing the game. Yeah. Because this is the verse of jihad, and the munkar, they actually use it to just wrong. It's not wrong. It's the verse which goes as is. So if you see somebody going worshipping the cross, so-called quotes and quotes, you stop him with your hand, because that's evil. That's wrong. You stop him with your hand. If you can't stop it with your hand, then stop him with your tongue. If you can't stop him with your tongue, then at least think that he's doing something wrong. So this is the reality of this hadith.
Yeah, it is about using the sword or the spear in your hand to kill an evil person. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, but when you look at what they teach in our textbooks, you're talking about beautiful things you do with your hand, with good words out of your lips.
Make cross with your hands. It's unbelievable, man. This textbook is stupidity. I think we will have to do some.
That is what our children believe about Islam.
Absolutely.
And people surprised that they're standing with the good Hamas all over our university, our college, very educated, very smart, best college. In 200 college, watch what's going to happen this semester. It will be not 200, but maybe every college. As a matter of fact, if Trump won the next election, 2024, it will be in every high school. Where is he teaching? These are not college books, ladies and gentlemen. These are high school books. Which means there will be riots, and what you saw in the colleges, in the 200 colleges last semester, it will be in every high school in America. And you don't think we have been infiltrated by the Muslims? Maybe you live under some big, huge rock, and you don't even know where you're at. Anything else you want to say, Adam, before we move to the next slide?
No, brother. I am good. Next slide.
Here's the jihad in the Quran. I know we heard the big BS, whatever you want to word you want to put it in our textbooks, the hogwash, the garbage, the life from the bottom of hell. Here's what Muhammad said in the Quran, the word of Allah.
O you prophet, perform jihad against the infidels and the hypocrites, and be harsh with them, and their abode will be hell, and evil is the destination.
How do you think Muhammad, the true hermeneutics now, how Muhammad interpreted that verse, how Muhammad understood that verse, how Muhammad practiced that verse, how early Muslims follow Muhammad in their belief and in their practice of that verse, how Muslims have practiced that verse the last 1400 years. Does any of that ever, any of the Muslims come out to the conclusion, you do good work by your hand?
Absolutely. And this verse actually answers the question that they say, oh, these are terrorist organizations. Look, they are actually killing the Muslims as well. Look at the verse very closely. Osama did not highlight that part. Infidels after infidels and hypocrites. Hypocrites in the Arabic, you would see munafiqeen. Munafiqeen are the Muslims, and this is Quran chapter 9, verse number 73. If you go back to this, if you go back a little and go read from Quran chapter number 9, verse number 48 onwards, you will see who munafiqeens are. And then verse number 82, Allah says, oh yeah, Muhammad, don't even read the funeral prayer of these Muslims because
Sure.
these are munafiqeen. So in Islam, when these terrorist organizations like IS and CARE and all these kind of things, Islamic Brotherhood and all that, whom you call the terrorist organizations, not the true Islamic organizations, you need to understand that they, when they kill the Muslims, they know that they are following the verse of the Quran right over here in the verse 973, that Allah has instructed Muhammad to not just fight with the kuffar, not just fight with the non-believer, not just fight with the Jews, Christians, and every other religious ideology out there, but rather with the Muslims who are not fully practicing Muslim because they are munafiqeen. That's how Allah is interpreting. So
Yeah.
when they kill Muslim, they are not killing the true believers, they are killing the
As a
munafiqeen.
Muslim. And you know what, Adam? What's amazing? The Muslims of the West lied to our president George W. Bush and make him believe, and Obama after him makes him believe that these Muslims are not good Muslims, the radical, the extremists, the fundamentalists, because they kill everybody. They kill Muslims as much as they can kill Christians, as much as they kill Jews. I met with some gay and lesbian Muslims in America who told me they are true Muslims. I said, no, if you are a Muslim, you'll be killed in Islam. He said, no, that is the work of the extremists, not the Muslims. Real Muslims love gay and lesbian. Here's the word of Allah. Who are the hypocrites? Quran chapter 3 and verse 167. And that he, that is Allah, might know the hypocrites. And it was said to them, come engage in war for the sake of Allah, or contribute. That's jihad of money and jihad of life. They said, if we knew how to engage in war, we would have followed you. They are closer on that day to infidelities and to faith. They say with their mouths, with what is not in their hearts, and Allah knows best what they hide. Who are the hypocrites? In simple words, these are the Muslims who refuse to perform jihad for the sake of Allah, who refuse to kill the infidels, and who refuse to sponsor, yadfa'u, contribute financially towards Islam. Do you know what hell the Muslim hypocrites will go to? Hell number 7. You got 7 hells in Islam. You go to the last one in the bottom, and they will never come out of it. Why? Because that's what Allah said. And their abode will be hell, and evil is the destination. It is the worst place for any person to go to. Hell number 7. It's very hot down there. So, you know what, Adam? I have no problem for Muslims to teach whatever they want to teach in our public schools, supported with the Quran. Supported with the saying of Muhammad in the Hadith. If you can find a verse in the Quran or one of the saying of Muhammad to practice, to teach whatever you want to teach, that's fine. But make sure that the verse of the Quran is not abrogated verse. It has to be the final words of Allah.
And if it is abrogated, then the verse which is abrogated should be there as well. But
Sure.
they will never do that. They will never do that. I said it many times that in the schools, I said many times in the schools, full Quran supposed to be read and taught to every person. Full Quran.
Exactly. That's what I always say. If Muslims are really working so hard to teach Islam in our public schools, and they're doing everything they can to introduce the infidels of America to the true religion of Allah, let us get the entire Quran in our public schools. Let's get the entire Hadith in our public schools. I promise you, if you offer that to the Muslims, they will run like cowards. We don't want to talk about Islam. We don't want to talk about Islam. Let's talk about math and history and science. Forget about Islam. The Muslim will be the first and the last one to say we don't want Islam in our public schools. Not Usama Dakdok, not Adam Seeker, not any of us who are trying to do everything we can to wake up this country and bring revolution, spiritual revolution, so we can be educated truth. So Islam will not take over our country, but we can take the Muslim children for Jesus in our public schools. It's very simple. You want to teach Islam? Give me the entire Quran. Give me the entire Hadith. No, thank you. Then we are going to teach your children the true Christianity. God help us. God help us. Friendship. You see that? That picture speaks for 1,000 words. I already saved you an hour of talk. This is literally an hour of talk. Yasser Arafat shaking hand to make peace with an infidel. And another infidel in the back of the screen, Mr. Bill Clinton himself. Do you really believe Yasser Arafat, the head of the Muslim jihadis of Gaza, want to have a peace with Israel? Want to have a peace with America? Want to have a peace with some infidels? Are you out of your mind? But it's amazing now. Lots of Muslims right now, Brother Adam, in the Gaza Strip and in the Muslim world are talking about peace. They want to talk about peace, Adam. And they're so upset because a man is trying to talk about peace and Israel take him out. They kill him. You see, the Jewish people do not want to have peace. They just want to go on wars because of barbaric, because they say, excuse me, why do you want to have peace with Israel right now? I thought you were winning for 9 months. From October, November, December, January, February, March, April. I mean, we're getting almost to a year. It's coming up to a year. You fight now. You want to have peace? What is that? It's very simple. It's very simple. Because they're weak. They're losing the battle, Adam. They're losing so badly. Israel continue like that for a few more months, all Hamas will be dead. And the people of Gaza will be set free. Yes, indeed. From the river to the sea, the people of Gaza will be set free if the Jewish people do us all a favor. This is not only my words. That's the word of many Muslim Arab in the Muslim world, in the Middle East. They say if Israel will not do their job to get rid of all Hamas, then they're a bunch of cowards. Why is they calling for peace? It's because Allah said so. Where? Here is a loving, peaceful verse in the Quran. Oh, actually, no. That breaks in taqiyya. Listen to the word of Allah.
Believers, do not take the infidels for friends rather than the believers. And whoever does this, so he has nothing to do with Allah, except that you should guard yourself from them cautiously. And Allah himself warns you, and to Allah is the final return.
Here's the exception one more time. I love Allah, the God of exception. When you read the word except or the word unless or the word but or if or when in the Quran, please circle it and underline what comes after it. You, Mr. Yasser Arafat, don't you dare make peace with the infidels. If you do that, you lose all the protection of Allah. Who said that? Al-Tabari said that. Ibn Kathir said that. But here's the exception for Yasser Arafat. Except that you should guard yourself from them. You can take an infidel for a friend if you are protecting yourself from them. That's the word taqiyya. Taqiyya means to protect, to guard. And you do it cautiously. Allah himself is warning you. I'm warning you. I'm warning, don't you dare make friendship or peace with the infidels. How should we take them for a friend? Listen to what Al-Jalalain said. This is, Brother Adam, that's like here, speak values. If the American people can understand about the good doctor, Dr. Muhammad, the neighbor, the doctor and the engineer, and there are plenty of Americans will tell me, Usama, you cannot paint all Muslim with one big brush. And I talked about painting before. Okay, dump just a big bucket of red color, 5 gallon on the ground. That's Islam. You don't need a roller or a brush. Why? Because the West and the people of the West are being manipulated, are being lied to, are being deceived by the Muslims who live in the West. Why? Because they're very friendly. Why? Because they're very nice. I mean, think about it. Yasser Arafat shaking hand with the Jews, Muslims shaking hand with the Americans. Oh, here we go. If you're afraid of them, the Red Party, if you are afraid of them, you can take them as friends with your tongue. باللسان. Adam, you're my special friend. Adam, I love you. Adam, you're the best I think I ever known. باللسان, with the tongue. دون القلب, not by the heart.
So in the heart, you are always hating me. So you're always hating me in the hearts and saying it from the tongue only.
Yes, sir. That is Al-Jalalain, peace be upon him. Okay.
All of them agree.
Listen to this, Adam. وهذا قبل عزة الإسلام. That is before the might of Islam. Like Muslims live in USA. ويجرى, and that can be practiced, فيمن to whom who live in a country بلد ليس قوي فيها, he's not strong in it. So if there are weak Muslims in America and they want to protect themselves from the infidels, they can take them as friends with their tongue but not with their heart. Don't you dare love the Americans. Don't you dare make peace with the infidels. Just pretend. And you do that temporary to protect yourself from them. Says who? Says Al-Jalalain. Like, by the way, you can read the interpretation of that verse by any Muslim scholar. They're all the same. They're all the same. So how do you like this shake of hand of Yasser Arafat? Did it work? Yes, Arafat is dead. And we still do not have peace in Israel. And we will never have peace in Israel. I promise you. There will never be peace in Israel. This is reality.
So do not be weak and do not call for peace when you have the upper hand.
The only reason now some of the Gazans want to have peace with Israel because they figured out we're so weak, we cannot compete with Israel, and we need to end that war because they're weak. If they're strong, I promise you, you will never hear one Muslim in Gaza, in West Bank, will ever say, let's have peace with Israel. If they are winning, I mean, they are losing hundreds of people every day. Hundreds. Thank God, less civilians. That's why they're calling for peace, Adam.
Brother, they're calling for peace because of this verse. One of my favorite verse. And the problem is, Quran is so clear in certain, for example, when to do war and when to do peace. Quran is so clear in it. Everything else when you read, you'll get confused because you will not see context. You will not see where, when, how, and what. But when you actually see the verses of the war and fight and not peace, they are just so absolutely clear.
You're right, Adam. When you read the interpretation of these verses by Muslim scholars, you will never read the word ikhtalafu, disagree. In almost all over the Quran, I will assure you, all over the Quran, Muslim scholars disagree. Muslim interpreters disagree. When it comes to the verses of war and jihad, I never heard once Muslim scholars disagree or Muslim scholar interpreters disagree. Why is there all in agreement about these verses? Because they're clear verses.
So every time somebody says otherwise, they are actually lying. Simple. They are lying from the teeth. Because whether you read the Quran or you read the tafsir, they are so clear. And thank you, Usama, for reminding me that as well. Like Muslims actually have shak on everything. Like even they fight about donkey of Muhammad. You know, Usama, they fight about the color of the hairs of the donkey of Muhammad. Whether it is white or black or gray.
Or how many hair is the beard? 19, 29, 59. How many people went to Noah's Ark? How many people? There's disagreement about every story in the Bible which Muhammad put in the Quran. There's disagreement. But when it comes to these messages, kill. welcome to Islam. That's the reality of Islam. They are infiltrating our country. Here is Ibn Kathir interpretation to 4735. So nobody think he did not say here. Scholar disagree. He said no. فَلَا تَهْنُوا, do not call for peace, or do not be weak of fighting your enemy. وَتَدْعُوا إِلَى السَّلْمِ, and do not cause them to peace. Or al-muhadana, which means temporary peace. Temporary. I love it. How they always stop fighting, stop the war for a few weeks. When they get enough rockets, when they get enough soldiers, when you have enough bullets, you go back to war. That's what they do. وَالْمُسَالَمَةِ, having peace. وَوَضْعِ الْقِتَالِ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَ الْكُفَّارِ, and stop engaging in war between you and between the infidels. فِي حَالَةِ قُوَّتكُمْ, when you are strong. وَكَثْرَةَ عَدَدِكُمْ, when you have large number of soldiers. وَعِدَّدَكُمْ, and when you have large number of weaponaries. Sword and spear Muhammad days, rocket and missile today. أي في حالة علوكم على عدوكم, when you are above your enemy, when you are stronger than your enemy, the infidels. فأما, so if إذا كان كفار, if the infidels فيهم قوة وكثرة, they have strength and large number. He meant weapon and people. Okay, فله, the Muslim, okay, بالنسبة إلى جميع المسلمين, concerning all the Muslims. ورأى الإمامة في المهادنة, and the leaders of the Muslims saw, we can have peace here. والمعاهدة, we can make a covenant here, like all the Muhammadan and Allah's covenants which Muhammad did in the years of living in Mecca and Medina, and he ended all these covenants in Quran chapter 9 verse 1. Allah and his messenger are innocent from the apostate whom you have made covenant with. That's how they bring the covenant. Anyway, maslaha, if the leader says there's good can come out of stopping war, stopping fighting with infidels. فَلَهُ أَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلك, the leaders of Muslim can do that, stop the fighting. كما فعل رسول الله, as the messenger of Allah did. حين صده كفار قريش, when the infidels of Quraysh stood against him. عن مكة, to be in Mecca. ودعوه إلى الصلح, as they call him to reconciliation. ووضع الحرب بينهم, and he stopped the fighting with them. 10 سنين, 10 years. فأجابهم إلى ذلك, so he accepted that. Muhammad, the noble example, made a covenant with the infidels of Quraysh for 10 years. You know what happened, Adam? Way before the 10 years.
He killed them all.
Muhammad have enough people, and Muhammad have enough weapon, and he went back to Mecca, and he killed the Jews, and he killed the Christian, and he wiped out all the mushrikeen, the people who he already signed a covenant with for 10 years, and he actually gives them 4 months. So when the 4 forbidden months are passed, so kill the polytheists wherever you find them.
Yeah.
I thought they still have a few more years to live. Muhammad now has the upper hand. Muhammad now has enough 10,000 men. He have enough sword and spear. And that's exactly what Muslims will be doing in the West. When they have the upper hand, forget about the peaceful hand between Yasser Arafat and anybody else. This is BS. That's
how it works, brother. That's how it works. When they have the power, bye-bye, tata. That's how it works.
I read you the verse of the Quran, and I'm reading the interpretation of Muslim scholars. Some Muslims come and tell me that I lied.
Yeah, because you lie, because you are actually showing them the truth. So hence, obviously, they don't have the answer. So hence, you lied.
You see the picture, Adam?
MashaAllah, subhanallah.
That picture was taken after September 11. That picture speaks 10,000 words. No kidding, 10,000. I already saved you another 2 hours right now by looking at that picture. A Muslim lady in a hijab searching a Catholic nun in the airport, in case the Catholic nun is extreme Christian who maybe have a bomb under her clothes. We're hiring Muslims in the airport, Adam, to check Christian nuns to make sure that they don't have a bomb on them.
Brother,
You know what?
Christians are very extremist,
Yeah.
Don't you know that?
Yeah, and I'm learning, brother. If
Yeah,
that's
very,
not
very extreme,
stupidity,
brother.
I do not know what is. Can you tell me any more stupidity than that, Adam? Okay, share with me something more stupid than that picture you watch. You're looking at right now. Can you tell me something?
Muhammad came to spread peace. I just gave you another stupidity, brother. I have heard this so many times. Trust me, I have heard it so many times.
He's a prophet of peace, a prophet of love.
Alhamdulillah, brother. So, yeah, Alhamdulillah.
When I was in Ireland, me and my wife and our son were coming back from Ireland just 3 months after September 11. It was Christmas, actually after Christmas. It was. I can look at my passport and show you the date. Same year of September 11. Coming back to America after September 11. At the gate of the New York airport, we're coming from. Can't remember what the name of the city. We came from Ireland, and we met with two Muslim ladies who give roses to all the ladies who came out of the runaway, coming from from airplane, runs to the airport. Welcome to America with a smile. They give roses to my wife. When I saw that, my blood boiled in me. I thought I will be arrested that day. I'm going to be thrown in jail, and I care less. Because I told these two ladies, this Muslim lady, I said, ma'am, you are a wonderful Muslim giving roses to the American people after killing 3,000 of their own people. Next time, change the roses with some bombs. Give people coming from the Middle East. On the same airplane, by the way, there were lots of Muslims. And you know how stupid that is? I'm sorry. That was not after September 11. That was a year after September 11. Because that was my second trip when I went to Indonesia and I went to Ireland. So it was a year, just 1 year after September 11, Adam. I said, instead of giving roses to the people coming from overseas on that plane, give them bombs, because that's exactly what you will be doing someday. My wife, she was upset with me, Usama, you should not be rude and speak rude loud like that. I said, I want everybody in the airport, hear me. These Muslims giving you roses, their children will be bombing your children in this country.
And they're doing that right now already? Like, it's so hard to not see that, but still, some people do not want to see.
Do we have infiltration in America, Adam? So far, I know Adam. You and I can talk about that for what? For another 10 days? Every day, 2 to 3 hours? We're just giving some examples for our audience to get it and share it with others, please. Should we wait another 10 years so we can figure out something is going wrong in America? You got so many politicians, Muslim politicians in this country, 222, I believe, last election. You heard of Ilhan Omar? You heard of Rashida Tlaib? Oh, these two. There are 222 Muslim men and women running all over this government. Should we wait until they hit 2000s? We don't have even any more Americans to represent you? My heart is broken, Adam. I love this country, and I know you do too. I know lots of Muslims who left Islam love America because they think that there's still power in America to stop the savage cult of Islam, not only in America, but all over the world. But sadly, the American people, because they're naive, because they're ignorant, are giving this country to the Muslims by their own hands.
Absolutely. Very well said, brother. Very well said. Right on spot. And that's the reality of it.
We're going to stop here. I don't want to go anymore. I'm sorry, one more session, we'll finish it. Lord's willing, we'll finish it in a couple of days.
So last session, grand finale, brothers and sisters. Thursday will be the grand finale of this one, where I can see a couple of very beautiful slides coming up. And
the document of the Muslim Brotherhood strategic goal for North America. If you have not listened to anything we said so far, you literally the last 6 hours, 7 hours we talked to you. You were busy watching TV, say eating popcorn, talking with your kids and your spouses. Talking, you never. If you have not heard anything yet, forget about the previous 3 shows. Just throw them. Don't even go watch them. Join us next one. I think, Adam, the next one is so powerful that it will shock the bones and the daylight out of the American people. It will shock their bones, and it will literally shock the daylight out of them, because I'm going to show you the blueprint. Guys, blueprint is very important. No blueprint, no house. No blueprint, no construction. I did a lot of work. As a matter of fact, right now I'm doing some construction. I can open my phone and I'll show you blueprint. Watch this, man. Here's blueprint, brother Adam. Look at that. We call that blueprint. Without this thing you see in my phone, I could not build my building. What are you going to tell the builder? What are you going to go to the guy who does the concrete, the guy who does the trusses, the guy who does the wiring, the guy who does the plumbing? I just measured. Guess it. You do it. No, you have to have blueprint to have a building, because in blueprint I can show you every detail of the size, of the shape, of the different cabinet, doors, flooring. Everything is in the blueprint. What we're going to be talking about in our next podcast, in our next show, it is the blueprint which Muslims have bought for years in America, and our government knows it very well, and they are deceiving you, and they hate you. Your government, American government, hate you, and they love the Muslims, and they're going to help the Muslims to build their state in America, which cannot exist until we kill every other non-Muslim in America. Imagine. That's not my words. It's in the blueprint. I will show you. We must kill the Jews. We must kill the Christian. We must build the mosque, and we must take over, and America will be part of the Islamic State.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brother Usama. I know people are calling you. You have to go. So thank you so very much for being here. God bless you, and God bless everyone. And thank you, Premji, for your super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Whoever subscribed to the channel, shared the videos, financially supported the channel. Thank you so very much. God bless you. And anybody who has questions, wait for the next stream, because the next stream will answer a lot of your questions already. And if you still have the questions, next time I will let you guys in. And if you have some final questions, you are more than welcome to come and ask you. God bless you all. A blessed day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Yeshua Akbarul Azim.
Amen.